If you are over 60, there is a habit, a seemingly harmless, even healthy habit, that millions of you are doing every single day that could be silently, secretly, setting you up for a stroke while you sleep. I'm talking about a catastrophic brain event with no warning, no pain. 1 minute you're sleeping peacefully, the next your family finds you, unable to speak, unable to move one side of your body. As someone who has dedicated their life to understanding the brain, I have seen this tragedy play out far too many times. And the most heartbreaking part? It wasn't always because of the usual suspects, like smoking, a bad diet, or a sedentary lifestyle. It was because of something they thought was protecting them. Vitamins. Yes, you heard me right. Vitamins. Those little pills and capsules you line up on your counter every morning, the ones you believe are safeguarding your bones, fueling your energy, and keeping your mind sharp as a tack. And look, I'm not here to demonize all vitamins. Many are fantastic and necessary. But some, particularly in the high doses they're sold in, or taken at the wrong time of day, can quietly turn your body against your brain. Today we are going on a deep dive. I'm going to walk you through 5 extremely common vitamins that have been linked to an increased risk of stroke, brain bleeds, or dangerous blood pressure spikes, especially in those quiet, early morning hours when your brain is at its most vulnerable. If you have ever taken vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin B6, vitamin A, or niacin, then I need you to listen closely. This information might honestly be the most important thing you hear all year. It could quite literally save your life, or the life of someone you love. Before we jump in, do me a favor. In the comments below, type a 1 if you've ever had that little nagging thought in the back of your mind, wondering if your supplements could be doing more harm than good. And type a 0 if this whole concept is completely new to you. There's no wrong answer. I just want to see where we're all starting from. And hey, if protecting your brain is a priority for you, do yourself a favor and hit that like button and subscribe. I'm here to give you the honest, science-backed truth, especially for those of us navigating our golden years. Now, let's start with the one that's going to shock you the most. It's the superstar of the supplement world, the one everyone is talking about, vitamin D. What you don't know about it could turn a good night's rest into a life-altering nightmare. You've heard it all, right? Vitamin D is the sunshine vitamin. It's essential for strong bones, a happy mood, a rock-solid immune system, and in moderation, that's all absolutely true. But here's the gigantic, flashing red warning sign that most seniors are never shown. Taking too much vitamin D, especially taking it before you go to bed, can silently crank up your risk for a stroke. I know, it sounds insane. It goes against everything we've been told, but I've seen the aftermath with my own eyes. Let me tell you about a patient of mine. Let's call him Mr. Walter. He was a 74-year-old retired Navy vet. This guy was the definition of disciplined, sharp, orderly, took his health more seriously than anyone I knew. Every single morning, like a military drill, he'd line up his supplements. And in that lineup was a 10,000 IU vitamin D capsule he bought from the local superstore. He thought he was building fortress-like bones, but what he was actually doing was slowly, meticulously building the perfect storm inside his arteries. One morning, his wife found him slumped over in his favorite armchair, confused. His speech was a garbled mess. His right arm was completely limp. A massive stroke seemingly out of nowhere. When we got his lab work back, the numbers were screaming at us. His calcium levels were through the roof. We call this hypercalcemia. His arteries were stiffening and his blood pressure was erratic. The clear as day culprit? Vitamin D toxicity. Here's how it happens, and I want you to really visualize this. When you flood your system with these mega doses of vitamin D, your body starts absorbing way more calcium from your food than it needs. Your body panics, thinking, where do I put all this extra calcium? So it starts depositing it into the walls of your arteries. It's like pouring concrete into your body's plumbing. Your arteries, which should be flexible and elastic, become stiff, narrow, and brittle. Now think about what happens as we get older. Our arteries are already losing some of that youthful flexibility. Add in the fact that many of us are slightly dehydrated at night while we sleep, and then you throw in a massive calcium spike from a vitamin D pill taken before bed. You've just created the perfect launch pad for a blood clot to form and shoot straight to the brain. The most terrifying part is there are no warning signs. You feel perfectly fine when your head hits the pillow, and you wake up in a completely different reality. And here's something that makes me furious. You can walk into any store in America and buy bottles of vitamin D with 5,000, 10,000, even more. People see a bigger number and think more is better. But the science is clear. For most older adults who aren't severely deficient, even 2,000 IU a day might be pushing it. So let me be crystal clear. If you are taking vitamin D, especially if you're also taking calcium supplements or are on certain heart medications, you absolutely must get your blood levels checked by your doctor. And for the love of everything, take it in the morning with food, not at night. Now, if that one surprised you, just you wait. The next vitamin is one people have been taking for decades, specifically for heart health. But in older adults, it can lead to something arguably even more frightening than a clot, a bleed inside your brain. Let's talk about vitamin E. The vitamin E. It's been marketed for years as the heart helper, the circulation supporter. If you've been taking it since the 80s or 90s, you are definitely not alone. So many people over 60 pop a vitamin E capsule every day, hoping to keep their heart ticking, their memory sharp, and their skin glowing. But here's the dangerous secret that never makes it onto the glossy label of the bottle. In high doses, vitamin E can dramatically increase your risk of a hemorrhagic stroke, which is a bleed inside the skull. This isn't just a theoretical risk. I'll never forget a wonderful lady named Miss Evelyn Brooks. She was 81, a retired librarian from Ohio, sharp as a whip, witty, always had a book and a clever comment ready. She had a known heart valve issue and was on a common blood thinner called warfarin, and her doctors were managing it perfectly. Her blood work was stable, her pressure was great, but one day she saw an ad in a magazine for a natural vitamin E supplement, 800 IU per capsule. She told me later, I thought it would be good for my memory and circulation. A simple, innocent thought. 3 weeks after starting it, she was rushed to the emergency room with the worst headache of her life, crippling confusion and vomiting. A CT scan of her brain confirmed our worst fears. A bleed, a hemorrhagic stroke. Not from a fall, not from high blood pressure. It was because of the combination of her prescribed blood thinner and the high-dose vitamin E had made her blood too thin. It had lost its ability to clot properly. A single fragile blood vessel in her brain had given way, and that was it. Here's the mechanism you need to understand. Vitamin E, especially in doses over 400 IU, acts as a natural anticoagulant. It thins your blood. Now, if you are already taking aspirin, Plavix, Eliquis, warfarin, or any other prescribed blood thinner, and you add a high-dose vitamin E on top of it, you're essentially pouring gasoline on a fire. You are creating a situation where your blood might not be able to clot at all, and your risk of a spontaneous internal bleed, especially in the delicate network of vessels in the brain, goes up exponentially. And get this, the recommended daily intake for an older adult is the mere 15 milligrams, which is about 22 IU. Yet you can go online right now and find supplements with 400 IU, 800 IU, even 1,000 IU per pill. It's madness. Miss Evelyn survived, but she never fully recovered.
She now walks with a cane, and her brilliant short-term memory has gaps in it. Through tears, she told me, "I just wanted to help myself. I didn't know I was doing harm." And that right there is what breaks my heart. Because millions of seniors think it's just a vitamin, it has to be safe. But that simply isn't true, especially when you have other medical conditions or are on prescription medications. Now, if the thought of a brain bleed isn't scary enough, there's another B vitamin that people take for nerve support and energy that can, with cruel irony, quietly and sometimes permanently destroy your nerves. Let's talk about vitamin B6. This one is sneaky. You'll see vitamin B6 as the star ingredient in so many supplements labeled nerve support, brain booster, or energy formula. Someone you know, maybe even your doctor in the past, might have told you it's good for aging nerves.